welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello and welcome to the official podcast of the Macron Northern Counties East League. I'm Matt Jones, the League General Manager, and it's our final podcast of the season. And on my roundup, we look back at the playoff finals in both divisions, as well as the final of the JCP Construction Northern Counties East League Cup in memory of James Hitchcock. That's the last of our 889 fixtures played this season, which took place at Scunthorpe United's Attis Arena on Tuesday evening. Let's start in the Premier Division and the playoff final because Beverley Town have done it. After last season's heartbreak, after that penalty shootout defeat at Hallam, they've come back stronger, steadier and absolutely determined not to let history repeat itself. And in front of a crowd of 999, they clinched promotion to Step 4 for the very first time in the club's history. It wasn't a free-flowing classic early on, far from it. Beverley and Tadcaster Albion, who finished second and fourth in the table respectively, played out exactly the kind of tight, tense final you'd expect, not helped by the strong, swirling winds. For the first hour, there was barely anything between them. You could feel the nerves, you could feel the weight of the occasion. Well, then came the breakthrough. On 61 minutes, Glenn Sarney struck, and suddenly Beverley looked like a side who believed their moment had arrived. From that point on, they played with the confidence that had been missing in the early stages. And with 8 minutes to go, Lucas Salubaric stepped off the bench and doubled the lead. A huge goal that felt like it might just settle the tie. But Tadcaster weren't done. Credit to them, they kept pushing, and in the 89th minute, Noah Kiwamya pulled one back to set up a very nervy finish. More than 7 minutes of stoppage time followed, but Beverley held firm. No repeat of last year's heartbreak, no late twist, just pure relief and celebration as their 4-year stay in the league came to an end, replaced by the promise of Step 4 football for the first time in the club's 102-year history. Tadcaster, meanwhile, managed to pick themselves up quickly, winning the West Riding County Cup final on penalties against fellow league side Route 1 Rovers. Despite defeating the playoff final, they can look back at a fantastic season. Can they do what Beverley did and secure promotion next season after losing in this year's playoff final? Now let's drop into Division 1, where Worsborough Bridge Athletic are heading for the Macron Northern Counties East League Premier Division for the very first time, after finally breaking free of a 35-year stay in Division 1, with a playoff final win that will live long in the club's history. And what a stage to do it on. The totally training stadium was packed to the rafters. A record crowd of 1,617 turning out to watch one of the league's founder clubs try to take that last elusive step up. 16 minutes in, they had liftoff. Keelan Grist, who's been in electric form all season, struck his 29th goal of the campaign to settle the nerves and set the tone. Around the hour mark, Akram Lazalier delivered the moment that really tipped the place into belief, doubling the lead and edging the Biggers closer to the promised land of the Premier Division. It's amazing to think that it was almost 10 years to the day since Worsborough Bridge lost their final league game of the season, 3-0 at home to AFC Mansfield, to finish bottom of Division 1 with just 15 points on 42 games. The crowd that day was 23. It caps off a remarkable couple of playoff weeks for the league because both sides who finished second in their divisions, Beverley Town and now Worsborough, have earned promotion. And there's a pattern emerging too. Home advantage is proving absolutely priceless. The last 8 Northern Counties East League playoff finals have all been won by the hosts. Worsborough Bridge just added their name to that list. For Wakefield, though, it's another painful chapter. 4 seasons in a row they've reached the playoffs, and 4 seasons in a row they've fallen just short. They pushed, they chased, they kept going in front of a huge crowd, but the breakthrough never came. So the story belongs to Worsborough Bridge Athletic, a founding club stepping into the Premier Division for the first time. A fan base with a day they'll never forget and a long wait finally rewarded. The Briggers are on the rise and next season they'll get to prove it on the biggest stage that our league has to offer. On to the JCP Construction League Cup final, a competition named in memory of former Barton Town goalkeeper James Hitchcock, who tragically passed away in 2024. Liversidge saved one of their most ruthless performances of the season for the cup final stage, dismantling Rossington Main 7-1 to lift the cup in front of a crowd of 412 at Scunthorpe. Yet for all the dominance that followed, Liversidge actually had to come from behind as they clinched the league and cup double. Ross Hannah stunned the favourites inside 3 minutes, latching onto a loose ball and steering Rossington into an early lead that briefly hinted at an upset. That was as good as it got for Rossington, though, because once Liversidge found their rhythm, the final became a showcase of their attacking power. Keelan Swales levelled on 15 minutes with a crisp finish, and from there the momentum never shifted back. Ben Atkinson took control of the occasion with 2 goals before the break, one on 25 minutes and another right on half-time, either side of Jack Stockdale's composed strike on 29 minutes. 4 goals in half an hour turned the contest on its head and sent Liversidge in 4-1 up at the interval, already with one hand on the trophy. The second half brought no respite for Rossington. Lewis Barlow added a 5th just after the hour, Swales grabbed his second a minute later, and Atkinson completed his hat-trick from the penalty spot 9 minutes from time to round off a commanding team display. Every attack looked like it might end in a goal, and by the closing stages, the only question was how big the margin would become. When the final whistle went, Liversidge had produced one of the most emphatic cup final performances the competition has seen, blending clinical finishing with relentless energy. Rossington's early spark faded under the weight of the sustained pressure, while Liversidge's big players delivered on the day that mattered most. A 7-1 scoreline in a cup final tells its own story. Liversidge was simply unstoppable. They will, of course, be competing in the Northern Premier League next season, and we wish them every success. That brings our 2025-26 season to an end. We've seen some fantastic matches and some stunning goals. The new season will begin on the 25th of July. Until then, thank you for listening and have a great summer.
(2025-26) season recap. Premier Division top 5. First Liversidge, second Beverley Town, third Sheffield FC, fourth Tadcaster Albion, fifth Barton Town. Bottom 3, bottom Wombwell Town, second bottom Albion Sports, third bottom Thackley. Division 1 top 3, first Durnan District, second Worsborough Bridge Athletic, third Wakefield AFC, bottom Glasshoughton Welfare. League Cup winners Liversidge, FA Cup Pickering Town third qualifying round, FA Vars, Albion Sports Liversidge and Rosington Main all third round.
Right. Good evening and welcome to the final podcast, NCEL Podcast of the season, where we're going to have a look at a review of the season. And tonight we have Richard and Si. Unfortunately, Aaron's working and Adam and Jordan can't make it tonight. So it's just the three of us. So good evening to you all.
Evening.
Hello.
And as I say, good evening to our listener who we do it all for. So we've not had a podcast for 3 weeks. So the last one was on the 17th of April. So we're going to go back 3 weeks. So we're going to cast our mind back and we'll pick up the first on the 18th of April. It was the Premier Division playoff final between Beverley and Tadcaster. They played at Beverley's ground at the Norwood. And Beverley came out winners by 2-1. They took the lead through Glenn Sanner in 61 minutes. Luca Sulabeka, 82nd. Tadcaster got a goal in the 89th minute. So they won the promotion to the Northern Premier League. So that's good for Beverley. That's, what is it, 2 promotions in about 3 seasons, Richard, now?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, they've done really well. I mean, they deserve it. Apparently scored 2 great goals in the final. And they were on top for a lot of the game by the sound of it. But Tadcaster got a late goal and put the pressure on in the last few minutes, but a deserved win. I think if you finish second, you deserve to go up.
Yeah. Anyhow, on the previous week, I mean, me and Si spoke about this. The attendance on the previous week in the semi-final was 999.
It's that one person again.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you? So that missing person in the semi-final, he was still missing a week later because when it came to the final, the attendance was 999. So that another is still missing. I'd like to know who the 1,000 supporter was.
Yeah.
And he's going to go to the
great
Premier League next year.
yeah. He's missed 2 great games anyhow. That's for sure. Right, well, on that same day, moving on, it was the NCEL Division 1 playoff semi-finals. Worsborough were home to Leeds UFCA, and Worsborough came out winners by 3-0. Jake Squires opened the scoring, Max Skelton, then Jake Holdsworth. A good crowd attendance of 460. So there we got through to the final. And the other semi-final was Wakefield at home to Harrogate. So over to you, Si, if you can remember after 3 weeks.
No, I can remember this one very well. I don't know about anything else there, but yeah, this one's very well ingrained in my memory. It's our highest achievement to date because it was our 4th consecutive semi-final in the playoffs and the first time we've ever won one. But my God, did we do it the difficult way and completely test the nerves of our fans. It was 0-0 at half time. Not long after the second half kicked off, Alex Ingham scores for Harrogate. They double the lead on 73 minute. That's when we pulled one back through Chris Salt, and then they went 2-1 ahead on 73 minutes. And after being sort of a bit behind twice, you kind of wonder if it's not going your way. And we had chances that went begging. And then in the 90th minute, once the manager had basically taken off most of anyone with a defensive bone in their body had come off, and everyone was in attack. I think we had like 3 wingers and 4 strikers or something like that on the field. And there's a great run from Ethan Kachosa from the left, cuts in off the wing, and then finds like a switchback pass to see Jerome Greaves running into space around the penalty spot area. Finds him, he takes a touch and slots it past the keeper. And this was 90 plus 5, I think, at that time. We'd had 9 minutes added on, and it was about 90 plus 5 when that went in. And yeah, that's one of your best moments in football. Everyone loves a last-minute equaliser, obviously, unless it's your team that concedes it. We've had those before.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you kind of think it's going to go. In normal football, professional football, you've got extra time, but no, it's straight to penalties, isn't it? In the semi-finals, and yeah, we scored all 4 of our penalties. Their first player put his wide, I think it was, and then there was one that was saved by our keeper, and then the guy that had scored the last minute goal, Jerome Greaves, steps up and gets the penalty that sees us through to our first ever final. And as I say, at that point, happy music. What could go wrong? End credits.
Yeah. And a good crowd, 586. Was that the biggest crowd of the season for home games for Wakefield? Do you know?
I believe so. Without checking back, I know it'll be on the statistics, wouldn't it, for attendances? But I believe it is. Our maximum was 489 in the league proper. Yeah. So yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's a good crowd, So Wakefield would play Worsborough in the final the following Saturdays, but we'll come on to that because the following Tuesday there was the West Riding County Cup final. Tadcaster was playing Route 1 Rovers at Woodersford, West Riding headquarters. And if you remember, Tadcaster had lost on the previous Saturday to Beverley in the playoffs, so obviously they was hoping for some silverware to finish their season off, and it finished 1-1. Tadcaster took the lead after 10 minutes through Charlie Owen, Then Route 1 Rovers had a 90th minute goal, Reece Thompson, to make it 1-1. It went to that penalties again, but this seemed a close encounter because Tadcaster actually won the penalties by 5 games to 4. So I bet there were nervous supporters from both sides at that. So Tadcaster, they got some reward for the season by winning the West Riding County Cup. Hard luck, Route 1, but good luck to Tadcaster for winning that. And then we move on to the next match that was played.
Credit there.
Say again.
Sorry, no, I was going to say a bit of credit there for Route 1 as well, from a Division
yes.
1 club running them to penalties.
Yeah.
You know,
It's good.
I think they've actually done well there. I know it was like a 90th minute equaliser, but yeah, Tadcaster obviously have been pushing for promotion to the Northern Premier League, and for Route 1 to actually take it that close, I think that's a good performance from them as well there. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to say as well, it was a great crowd, 650. So that's a good attendance. Well, I think well supported by both teams there, 650 for the final. So that was but I say a good match. But 5-4 on penalties. There'll be a lot of nerves shredded by the end of the game, we'll imagine, on both teams. And then we come to the Division 1 playoff final. Worsborough home to Wakefield. So it's over to you again, Si, to talk this one through. Sorry.
Oh, do I have to review this? Okay, then yes, we will do. Yeah, we from a Wakefield perspective, we all knew we didn't turn up. Everything it was kind of what we'd done in the semi-finals in previous years, and Worsborough outplayed us on the day. We just didn't have an answer, and unfortunately for us, and fortunately from them, credit to them, great performance, and they won 2-0 on the day. The first goal, a lot of people have seen it online. It's a bit debatable. I always go with my own side's viewpoint, and you're looking at. I thought there was a foul on the keeper had come outside of our box, and I don't think he'd handled the ball. I think he tried to chest it, and the player's gone in with a foot high and caught him in the ribs. Saw a photograph afterwards, and he had some right marks down his ribs from it. But the referee's allowed play on, and then Keelan Grist has put a very well placed shot into the open goal, because it was from a bit of an angle for that one. The linesman at the time flagged, and it looked like he'd said to the referee that from his view it was a foul, but the referee gave it anyway. Doesn't change the match for me. I know it's sort of like one of those sticking points, but I don't think we had an answer for them on the day anyway. And then they scored a second goal in the second half just to kill it off. We had one goal, and that was it, and it was ruled offside. And the rest of the time, we didn't really threaten. We didn't do enough. And you can't argue with a better team winning on the day. I'm glad it didn't go down to something where it was quite even, and then something daft decided it. Even without that decision for the first goal, they were the better team and deserved the win and the promotion. So credit to them from that. Big crowd there as well. I mean, look at that one, 1,617, their biggest ever, probably the biggest I can remember seeing for any matches at this level. I don't remember seeing any bigger ones with other teams. I don't know about you guys.
It's incredible, that crowd. No, I can't remember anything. Incredible.
And to say it was such an important match with two passionate fan bases, we took a lot of fans over for this one. There were quite a few neutrals, obviously, who turned up for it, as well as Worsborough fans. I didn't see any police or stewards, anywhere amongst the people there and what have you. And there was no incidents, despite obviously I saw some events that happened in another playoff further down south where there were fans on the pitch throwing flares at each other. Right. In this one, it was it was good behaviour all round, which was good to see as well, especially when you've got that many fans in attendance.
And the weather on the day was quite good, wasn't it? It was a sunny day as well.
It was a glorious day for it. Yeah, it was it's a perfect day for football. Just for us, obviously, it wasn't the perfect result, but
No.
as the saying in football goes, we go again.
Yeah.
We're back
Yeah.
this season.
It
Probably
was.
finishing the top 5 somewhere and get another playoff somewhere. You never know.
Yeah. What? If I'm right in saying Wakefield, you had a poor start, didn't you? And so they did well to get to the playoffs, really. And because then you changed your manager, didn't you, at the beginning of the season as well? If I remember right, it's such a long time ago. Yeah, I thought that was the case.
We've done this like the last 3. We tend to do this. It's our way. We start the season poor. We change the manager, and you get that manager bounce, and then it starts to go right. And then you don't end up keeping some of the players for next season. Hopefully, if we keep some of the players, we are keeping the manager. And then we can just build on what we've got, and give it a go next year. I've said after the first time we lost in the playoff semi-finals, I said the only way we're getting out of this league is to win it. That doesn't mean that it's easy to do that, because the one thing the past few years have shown, there's no easy way to win the league. There's no teams that's going to give you an easy match. One of our toughest matches, and in the end, which probably cost us home advantage in this match, was Glasgow, who got relegated with only 10 points. One of those 10 points was against us when they fought for their lives with a 0-0 draw.
Yes,
and
I remember that.
That's why there's no easy wins in this league. There's no teams that are easy.
Mm.
People, and I know some people. There's a lot of people that don't like our club and think that we have this view that we're better than, but we know we're not. We know it's not easy to get out of this league, and you got to fight for everything in every match. And anyone who hadn't thought that a few seasons ago, if there was anyone, certainly knows it now anyway.
Yeah, but at least, but at least you got there. You got into the playoffs. I mean, is it 3 seasons now? But at least you got there.
4.
4. It's 4. Oh, beg your pardon.
I mean,
fifth.
that in itself that's all right. We might fall over on these hurdles when we get there, but to get a top 5 finish 4 years in a row is actually still an achievement as well.
Yeah,
but at least, as the season goes on, the supporters, you've got the team and the supporters have got something to play for, which can only be good. It's keeping the interest going, isn't it?
Absolutely. Our chairman said in a recent statement, we've never played a meaningless match. We've never had a match at the end of the season where we've got nothing to play for. Every time we've played, from the first moment we got into the league, we've had something on the line.
Right then, well, moving on. So we're then going to Tuesday, the 28th of April, Sheffield and Hallamshire Senior Cup final. And it was Worsborough again. They were playing Worksop Town. I think is Worksop in the National League North? Anyhow, there was a higher team in the pyramid playing Worksop at Doncaster Rovers ground, and Worksop run out winners by 2-1. They scored an early goal, and then another second one in the second half through Oliver Greaves, 54th minute. Worsborough hit back by Keelan Grist again, scored 80 minutes penalty, lost 2-1, but a good crowd, 710. So that's a good attendance. So when you look at it, Worsborough, last 2 matches they played of the season, they had over 2,300 people, which is tremendous, really, watching Worsborough.
You're right, Worksop are National League North, so that's a hell of a performance by Worsborough to push them that close.
That's 1, 2, 3 steps above, isn't it? For what they're playing. That's brilliant then, really. And then we moved on to the final game of the season, where me and Richard were there the other night, when Liversedge took on Rossington. And that was played at Scunthorpe United. It was the NCEL League Cup final in memory of James Hitchcock. And it started off well for Rossington, didn't it, Richard?
It did. Fantastic goal in the first 3 minutes by Ross Hanna, because it was a good ball across, but it was slightly behind him, and he backheeled it in. It was a tremendous goal. And they looked really good for 10 minutes, didn't they, Rossington?
Yeah. I think that's where they made the mistake. Scored early. I I think they upset
Upset
Liversedge,
them.
Yeah. But because I watched it back on Adam's YouTube, because I wasn't quite sure it happened that quickly. Ross Hanna's goal, but the flick was really good to after 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But after that, well, it was all one-way traffic, wasn't it? Really?
I mean, they were just absolutely outstanding, I thought.
Yeah. Liversedge was
Yeah.
easily the best team I've seen this season on
Yeah.
that performance. Some of the goals, teamwork, they never stopped running, Liversedge. I mean, Rossington tried the best, but it was, they equalised after 15 minutes through Keelan Swales. Another goal after 25 minutes, Benjamin Atkinson. Jack Stockwell, that was a good goal after 29 minutes, 1-2 in penalty area. Another Benjamin Atkinson, 45 minutes. So it was 4-1 up at half time. And to be honest, at half time, you feared the worst, didn't you, really, for Rossington, what's to come in second half from what we'd seen. And it proved correct because they're running 3 more goals. And if it wasn't for the Rossington keeper, it could have been more.
Yeah.
But all the goals they scored were real quality. There was nothing dubious or unlucky. It was all good quality goals. And playing like that, Lewis said, I think they'll do well in the Northern Premier League when they get there next year. And that's
I don't think I've seen a better side for a few years.
No, when you remember, it was a couple of years ago, we saw Emily. They won the title, Premier League, played Parkgate, who won Division 1, and Parkgate won on the night, didn't they?
Yeah.
But that was never happened to Liversedge. They
No.
put their stamp on the game, and credit 7-1 winners. So congratulations, because they've done the double, haven't they? They've won the league.
Yeah. Yeah.
They won the league by 14 points. That's incredible. And you can see why, can't you, really, after the other night? And but a good crowd on the night, 412, quite a lot from Riverside, and a good following by Rossington. But it's just a shame for the Rosso supporters on the night. But you can't win them all. Rossington did well. They got to the final, so that's credit to them, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So that's good. So because it was like a review of the season, because it's the final one, I was going to ask you if you've got any highlights. So we'll ask you, Rich, have you got your highlights for the Barton Town of the season? Have you got a highlight? Or have you got a low light?
I mean, the low light really was the I'd say the playoff semi-final against Beverley, because they never really looked like causing them any problems. I mean, did fantastic to get there. Some good performances. Beat Sheffield 4-0, I think it was at one time. Had a win up in the northeast in the FA Vars against it's escaped me who they played in the FA Vars, but it's one of the teams from the northeast that won it. Whitley Bay beat Whitley Bay in the FA Vars. Fantastic result, but there's been lots of good memories. But it's just a shame they never laid a glove on Beverley really in the final.
It's a shame, but they had a good season.
Good season.
But one of the best seasons they had for a while, I would think. From maybe 2 or 3 seasons.
I think they've been second once, quite a long time ago. But very excellent season.
Do you have any highlights what's your highlight for Wakefield in the season, Si? Have you got a highlight? Something that stands out for you?
I think in terms of for Wakefield, there's a caveat to this. You kind of covered both the high and the low in the playoff semi-final. The semi-final was the high, the final was the low. So I think they're the 2 bits from that. My personal highlight away from Wakefield, though, I just wanted to say is this: it's the social aspect that comes with following your non-league club and talking with other people from other clubs. Doing this with you guys is one of my highlights every season, and doing the same, obviously, that we do for the Wakefield podcast as well. And just having that local community, getting out, seeing fans at games, having a chat with other fans from other teams at games as well. I think it's not one particular highlight, but that for me is the big thing that I love about football at this level
Yeah,
and what
I
we
agree.
do. So thank
Yeah.
you for you guys, for
Yeah.
including
It's
me,
like,
and
yeah,
I enjoy doing it.
yeah. Same here. I agree with the podcast, and if we can always add a bit of humour in as we go along, it always
Yes.
helps. But it's like a non-league family, isn't it? Really, because non-league football, as you say, Si, it's a social element as well, and you get to meet up your guys and you chew the fat about what's good, what's bad about your club, and what's going on in other clubs, and that's something you probably don't get in league football, and.
Absolutely.
And you get to know you get to know all these supporters by name as well. It's what you do at Goole anyhow, and and that's good. That's part of the non-league, I say. And if you can get a bit of success in a season, which is something I don't know about, but if we can, it'd be good. So just going on my highlights, we haven't got many for Goole this year, as you know, but going to Brig early part of the season was a good 4-0 win. Brig hadn't really got going at that time, but we played really well that day. My low light would be result-wise would be Worsborough. We went to Worsborough. We were losing 1-0 at half time, and then in the second half we just collapsed and lost 7-0. We was never in it, and that was a low light. So in Vars, we got I think doing one game at Vars. So it's been, but we've had a struggle this year with the VPG renovations going on. We've not been able to offer when fans come, not offer them that great facilities really. No clubhouse, limited seating area for covered accommodation. We had a marquee, but it's people don't really want to sit in the marquee when they come to watch the football. But hopefully, next year, we'll have brand new facilities. Touch wood. It's not finished yet, but we understand it could be July now. We can put that book.
Yeah.
But if it's finished in July, it'll be finished for the season. And hopefully, if we can get a good, because
I'm
we're
pretty
looking
sure
for.
that Bob, you got voted. You got voted one of the best grounds for people to visit. On the I'm sure there was a little chat on the NCL web page, and they were saying that Goal was one of their favourite away days. So
Oh,
despite
well,
what's going on,
yeah.
and obviously it's going to be so much better once it's complete.
Mm,
But it shows you're doing a lot right there as well.
yeah, and also it's got a good backdrop because it's got the salt and pepper water towers in the background, and it's funny since they're not the old stand down. You can see them better now. Now, even when the new pavilion's gone up, because it's sort of moved on the ground, so you can see it better as well. So it's got a good backdrop, and 4G the 4G pitch. It's great for in the week for youngsters playing it in schools. So hopefully, just need to get a team on the pitch next year, and we're looking for a new management team, which I thought I'd be able to tell you tonight, but I think it's going to be either tomorrow or the weekend. But whoever comes in, well, I'll just wish them the best and hope we can get off the season when it gets going to a good start. Good start. So because we're doing a review of the season, let's look at the top scorers. And I was going to look at the Premier Division first. We'll finish the top scorers in the league. And it was Alexander Hardwick with 34 goals. So he did well to finish top scorer. And in Division 1, it was our friend Zach Khan with 68. I don't think he broke the record, did he, Richard?
He didn't, unfortunately,
Yeah,
but
it was
what a
definitely one
season.
record.
Absolutely incredible. And Reece
Yeah,
Thompson got a bucket load as well.
yeah.
For them.
Because in the Division 1, the second person was Adam Baskova with 37. So he trailed by 31 goals. So it'd be interesting to see in the close season if Zach Khan moves or he stays at Route. But he might be happy playing with his mates at Route 1. I presume they'll be happy to keep him. But it'll be interesting to
I think there'll be
see.
a lot of clubs trying to talk to him and have a word with him to come to the join them, won't there? Because that's the kind of performance that makes him attractive to anyone, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
He
does,
scored.
yeah,
He scored more goals than Adam Baskerville and Keelan Grist combined.
yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's
yeah,
amazing. Now, if you keep an eye on not in non-league football, Brighouse, I don't know if you've seen this, who
yeah,
came bottom of the NPL, is it East or West? Anyhow, they would have come into the North Counties East League Premier Division into Step 5, but they've decided they want to go down to Step 7 due to down to costs and travel last year. So it makes you wonder, like say like Beverley's gone up. I mean, they're going to have a lot more travelling to do, aren't they? Going to North East and the cost of that.
yeah.
Is it a blessing to get promoted or is it not? You know, and be happy with what
A
you've
big
got.
difference going up to that next level.
Yeah, there
Big
isn't in
difference.
financially, it's a bit of a leap, isn't it? When you've got maybe 5 or 6
Yeah.
trips to North East and etc. You know.
A midweek game in the northeast, you're going to have to be setting off almost around midday, and then probably getting back at midnight. Some of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so anyhow, so Brighouse, wish them all the best, but they're gonna drop down to Step 7. But that then, for me, it begs the question, because Albion Sports finished 19th. I mean, they've got to reconstruct their leagues. It might be good news for Albion to stay in the Premier Division. You know, that's what I
Yeah,
was
and I
thinking.
think they had one of the biggest points per game in the country for the teams that went down. So I think they've got a great chance of staying up.
Yeah,
I
so
think if
that
we're going
definitely.
to be fair, it should be the team that was that lost in the playoff final for Division 1. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah,
Well, you could look at it that way. Yes, that's the
You
point.
can't but hope, eh?
Yeah, but yeah. See, but so because Albion, you're right, Richard. They played 38 and got 38 points. So that's a point a game. But we probably won't know till June, end of June, how the leagues will be constructed. But it is a talking point. But who knows? It might have a knock-on effect in the Division 1 hours. Winterton finished 20th. Um, did I see somewhere that Winton, is it Robbie?
Robbie
Is it
Starr,
Star? He's
Starr.
been awarded a 3-year contract, hasn't he? I think at Winterton.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, so hopefully there'll be, because at this moment in time, I presume they don't know what league they'll be in, if they'll be in the Lincolnshire League or North Counties, but it might give them a bit of a glimmer of hope. Staying up, you just don't know, because I heard rumours there might be even 24 teams in Division 1 next year. Have you heard that rumour?
I know that's the maximum they can have.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think they talked about it last year when it went from 20 to 22. So, but I presume it depends on the ground grading. But it'll be interesting to see who comes up in the feeder leagues, won't it?
Yeah, there could be
Because
some.
Also
There
the
could be ones going sideways, couldn't there?
There's the
yeah,
Farsley
because
question as well, because obviously with Brighouse, I mean, people have been predicting them coming in at Step 6, but with Brighouse leaving a gap in Step 5, would the FA put Farsley at Step 5 rather than 6? We don't know how that's going to go yet.
no, and
No.
I saw somebody this week had put predictions, and it's always hard to do of Division 1 and the Premier divisions, and I looked at that. Maltby Main wasn't in Division 1, and I thought, why is that then? And somebody said they could play in the United Counties or something, but I found that very strange.
Yeah, you look at the map, and they are kind of on the cusp, just as the same as it is with Ilkley as well. On a different version, Ilkley weren't on it because there've been a couple of versions of that Division 1 prediction come out, and the one that didn't have Ilkley, you think, okay, is that because they're going to go to the Northwest? Because obviously they're on the border with that. So it all comes down to when the FA kind of shuffle around the leagues and who they put in which border, don't they? Because obviously if Louth moves down to United Counties, then that's going to leave a gap somewhere else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I know when we played Ilkley and Louth, they were both evening games. The Louth one, we should have gone on the Saturday, but it was cancelled due to a county cup game. So we had to go on a Tuesday evening, which was not great because
No.
I'd never been to Louth, and trying to find it in the dark in middle of February wasn't good, So, and that's our two longest trips is Ilkley
Well,
and
even worse, Ilkley and Louth played each other, didn't they, on an evening game at one point?
Yeah.
I'm sure that happened.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure one of those
yeah,
fixtures was an evening game, and
Yeah,
that was because that was the longest trip in the league, wasn't it?
yeah,
117 miles each way.
yeah, it's a good distance between Ilkley and Louth. That's definitely yeah. And I see Glass out that they're looking for a new manager. I've seen something on there as well. And even though they don't know what league they'll be playing, if they'll be playing but with Glasshoughton, they finished 22nd, so I suppose they're at more risk of going down if they're restructuring. But one never knows, do you? What depends how the league sort it all out. I just know that
Athersley got a new manager today as well. Robbie Gainey.
Yeah. I saw that just before I came on Thursday. Yeah.
So new manager gone in at Athersley.
Yeah, and then Doncaster City. I think they've got a new chairman in Mark Chappell, and I see they've signed Danny South. He played at Barton and Hallam, didn't he, Richard? Did he play for Barton?
He did, yeah. He's a fantastic signing. He's a great player.
Yeah. So that should be a good signing for Doncaster. And they've also signed Derry Robson, who was a Gould supporter. I knew Derry because Derry played for Gould in his early days. In fact, I think he was assistant manager with David Taylor for a while. So he was always a fan's favourite. The Gould was Derry, so it'd be good to see. So that's two good signings for Doncaster City so far. So it'll be interesting to see how they go on next year. And yeah, cause I'm just going back to the feeder league in Division 1. Field Olympic. Oh, wait, I was going to ask you, is that? Do we know where Field Olympic is?
I think it's the West Riding, I think.
Oh, that's a quiz question for you. Field Olympic.
It's the West Riding.
And Kinsley Boys. Somebody's predicted they could come up. I think they're in Central Midlands.
Yeah, that's not far from us. They're have you ever been to Hemsworth Miners Welfare? It's literally a stone's throw from that ground. And they're another one that's predicted to come back up. Hemsworth as well. So yeah, Kinsley Boys is just round the corner from there.
Field Olympics in Bradford.
Sorry, Richard.
Okay.
Field Olympics in Bradford.
Oh, in Bradford. Oh, right. Oh, well, that would be a new ground to go to.
Yeah, I think Immingham Town and Live Supplies as well are on the.
Yeah, they are.
Live Supplies
in Immingham Town. So
Live Supplies was quite confirmed, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's all speculation, and cause I think the fixtures last season didn't come out till maybe end of June, wasn't it? Because I think the people at the FA clubs have wanted to move or drop down, and it must be a real headache trying to sort it all out because they work on a geography, don't they? And somebody at the FA must get a big map out.
Yes.
and put pinpoints on a big map. So we'll put them there, But you can't please everybody because when it comes out, some people will be happy, some people won't be. It's not easy, really, is it? Trying to do that,
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.